Hi everyone, welcome to Simple Concepts. I'm your educator Niyati Paul. In this particular video, we will be discussing poverty line in India, its meaning, concept and evolution. So before we guys start with our actual lecture, let me tell you all a very important thing. आप अनअकैडमी पे एक बैच शुरू होने जाने वाली है, 4 एपिक बैचेस शुरू होने जाने वाले हैं for 1 year preparation which is starting from today, that is 1st of June. If you want to prepare for CSE 2021, then this is the right opportunity for you. You can join the batch which is of 1 whole year. तो यहाँ पे आपको बेसिकली बाइलिंगुअल जीएस बैच कोर्सेज मिल रहे हैं और इंग्लिश जीएस बैच कोर्सेज भी मिल रहे हैं विच इज स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम टुडे. यहाँ पे आपको फुल सिलेबस कवरेज मिलेगा, प्रीलिम्स एंड मेंस टेस्ट सीरीज के विद एनालिसिस आपको मिलेंगे, डेडिकेटेड डाउट क्लियरिंग सेशंस भी होंगे आपके लिए और इंटरव्यू प्रिपरेशन के लिए भी वहाँ पे कोर्सेज हैं. तो इसके लिए आपको क्या करना होगा, आपको अनअकैडमी का प्लस सब्सक्रिप्शन लेना है एंड इफ यू यूज आवर कोड दैट इज SIMPLEYT, अगर आप ये वाला कोड अगर आप यूज करते हैं तो आपको एक्स्ट्रा 10% डिस्काउंट मिलेगा इस एंटायर कोर्स पे. तो जाइए और प्लस सब्सक्रिप्शन जरूर लीजिएगा इफ़ यू वांट टू एनहांस योर यूपीएससी प्रिपरेशन एंड इफ़ यू वांट टू मेक श्योर कि आप 2021 में सिलेक्ट हो जाओगे. ऑल्सो हम जो भी यहाँ पे टॉपिक्स डिस्कस करते हैं, सिलेबस पार्ट डिस्कस करते हैं, उसके अगर आपको नोट्स चाहिए हो इन द फॉर्म ऑफ PDF, देन यू कैन जस्ट गो टू योर टेलीग्राम. आप डिस्क्रिप्शन में चाहिए, वहाँ पे आपको हमारे ग्रुप का लिंक मिलेगा. डू ज्वाइन इन आवर ग्रुप. इफ एट ऑल यू आर अनेबल टू फाइंड द लिंक, अगर लिंक वर्क नहीं हो रहा है तो टेलीग्राम अकाउंट पे अपने जाके वहाँ पे सर्च बार होगा, वहाँ पे सिंपल कॉन्सेप्ट्स यूपीएससी के नाम पे अगर आप सर्च करोगे देन यू विल बी एबल टू फाइंड आवर ग्रुप. Having said that, let's start today's discussion. And yes guys, one more thing, आपको अनअकैडमी यूपीएससी चैंपियनशिप में भी पार्टिसिपेट करने का मौका मिल रहा है. वहाँ पे आपको राकेश वर्मा सर, मृणाल पटेल सर और आतिश माथुर सर जैसे बहुत ही एक्सपर्ट लोगों के थ्रू आपको गाइडेंस मिलेगी. सो यू कैन एनरोल नाउ फॉर फ्री. You don't really have to pay anything if you enroll for it now. Okay, so having said that, let's start today's video. So guys, speaking about poverty line in India, its meaning, concept and evolution हम इस पूरे वीडियो में डिस्कस करेंगे. So from the times immemorial, society has been divided as rich and poor, powerful and weak. ये तो हम सभी लोग जानते हैं. So some have dominant access to resources while some are deprived of resources. Situation is no different now. In democracy, government attempts to narrow this gap by taking up task of redistribution of resources. गवर्नमेंट क्या करती है, ये जो एंटायर जो गैप है उसको नैरो डाउन करने के लिए, उसको कम करने के लिए कांस्टेंट स्टेप्स लेती रहती हैं और एक उनमें से स्टेप है रीडिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ रिसोर्सेज. जैसे कि हम देख सकते हैं लैंड रिफॉर्म्स एक्ट जो बहुत सालों पहले हुआ था इंडिया में. वो एक वन ऑफ द स्टेप था. ओके, but resources at disposal of any society are limited and challenges are many. जैसे कि हम देख सकते हैं पॉपुलेशन, अब लैंड का ही अगर आप एग्जांपल लेते हो तो पॉपुलेशन इतना ज़्यादा है कि अगर हम आज के एक तौर पर अगर हम फिर से लैंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के बारे में सोचें तो वो बिल्कुल भी ना के बराबर होगा. मोस्ट ऑफ द लोग ये भी कंप्लेंट करेंगे कि उनके जो लीगल राइट्स है, जैसे कि राइट टू प्रॉपर्टी, ये एक लीगल राइट है, उसको वायलेट करा गया है ना. So for effective redistribution and bringing lasting change, it is essential that deserving beneficiaries of government's helps are identified. To identify poor, we need some of the benchmarks and person falling below this benchmark will be regarded as poor. जो भी एक गवर्नमेंट ने एक पर्टिकुलर बेंचमार्क सेट कर लेना चाहिए और जो भी पर्टिकुलर फैमिली और ग्रुप ऑफ इंडिविजुअल्स जो इस बेंचमार्क तक नहीं पहुंच पाते तो उनको पुअर के तौर पे क्लासिफाई उनको कर देना चाहिए, विच इज ऑलरेडी हैपनिंग इन इंडिया. सो इन इंडिया इनिशियली मोस्ट ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट सपोर्ट मेनली पब्लिक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन सिस्टम वाज यूनिवर्सल, बट इन लेटर पीरियड्स दैट इज फ्रॉम 1990s they adopted targeted support which was meant only for deserving poor. This was due to the fiscal constraints and move from socialism to market based economy as a result of LPG reform. तो हम सब लोग जानते हैं 1991 में लिबरलाइजेशन, प्राइवेटाइजेशन और ग्लोबलाइजेशन का रिफॉर्म इंडिया में लाया गया था जिसकी वजह से हमारा प्यारा भारत देश है वो बहुत बड़ी फाइनेंशियल इमरजेंसी घोषित करने वाली थी उस वक्त पर। मतलब इट वाज ऑलमोस्ट अ टाइम जहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा फाइनेंशियल इश्यूज हमारे पूरे देश को फेस करने का मौका आया था। सो एट दैट टाइम एलपीजी रिफॉर्म्स वर ब्रॉट बाय आवर ऑनरेबल द देन फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह, और उनकी वजह से देश एक बहुत बड़े फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस में जाते जाते बचा था। So major landmark in this was adoption of targeted public distribution system in 1990s, in which subsidized food was only meant for below poverty line people, and determination of poverty line became a big issue since then. So it should be noted that determination of poverty line and identification of poor beneficiary are almost different things. Poverty line was determined by Planning Commission on the basis of data provided by National Sample Statistical Organization और NSSO. इन्होंने डेटा उनको प्रोवाइड करा था, which conducted a survey at 5-year interval of mere sample of capture consumption patterns of various sections of society. तो उनको कहा गया था कि आप लोग अच्छे से पूरा का पूरा सेक्शन हमारी सोसाइटी देखो, इंडियन सोसाइटी देखो, कौन सी सोसाइटी कितना ज़्यादा कंजम्पशन करती है, इनके आप रिकॉर्ड्स लाओ. So it is taken care that sample size represents character of nation or state as whole. This gives us data about various classes of consumption in the sample size. For example, say how many people out of sample size consume what food, how many calories, nutrients do they get, what is the expenditure on food and non-food items, what people eat most within the food, for example cereals, pulses or fruits. So what are the patterns of this and so on. So this is the gold mine of information that Planning Commission seeks. Now Planning Commission quantifies in term of money caloric nutritional needs for basic minimum living by taking an ideal poverty line basket. This ideal basket includes food and non-food items which are recommended by expert groups among other things, which are constituted from time to time by NSSO. Their job is only to collect data and patterns. So we'll have a monetary figure rupees 16, 25 or 32 etc. which that expert panel considers benchmark for poverty line. Then this poverty line is adopted by Planning Commission. For determination of this figure, reliance is obviously placed on data provided by NSSO. Now we have poverty line figure based on minor sample, and we need to determine number of poor in the country, that is people whose consumption expenditure is below this poverty line. For this ratio of the poor to total sample size is replicated on total population of the country. For example, if survey sample size was 2 lakh household and 5 lakh households are found to be consuming below the poverty line figure, then 25% of the total population in the country will be considered as below poverty line. Okay. So guys, as we can see in the determination of poverty line and estimation of number of poor, there is no identification of particular households. Number of poor below poverty line in this sense is just a tool to measure effectiveness of government policies and make interstate, international or temporal comparisons. Other products of this exercise is poverty line and might be or not be used for actual identification of poor beneficiaries. Now the Ministry of Rural Development, in conducting BPL census of rural population since 1992, on the basis on which rural poor are actually identified. In case of urban poor, there is no uniform mechanism in place, and state governments or union territory administrators, they adopt their own methodology for identification. Having said this, relevance of identification on the basis of poverty line is doubtful these days. It is widely accepted that poverty is multidimensional and different schemes of government should be either be universal or their beneficiaries should differ as a matter of scheme. For example, पिछले कुछ सालों से मनरेगा स्कीम जो थी दैट वाज यूनिवर्सल, Now their focus was on 250 backward districts. Food Security Act, which covered two-third population, which is far more than BPL population. Also, there was this Indira Awas Yojana for homeless, not for BPL, but also Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan or RTE are universal. However, many benefits from the government are still exclusive for below poverty line card holders, such as free gas connection or the kerosene oil. ये कुछ schemes थे previously. Now, notwithstanding all these, poverty line and estimate of population will be needed to measure and compare effect of policies of various national and national governments. Presumptions on which this line can be made are many, and it is Herculean task in continent type country like India. There is always a fear of exclusion of deserving ones and inclusion of undeserving one. जैसे कि आपने भी आपके आस पड़ोस में देखा होगा, मोस्ट ऑफ द लोग ऐसे होते हैं जिनको ये एंटायर स्कीम का मतलब ऐसा नहीं होता कि उनको चाहिए ही चाहिए, दे कैन स्टिल सस्टेन विदाउट दी स्कीम्स, बट वो लोग ऐसा नहीं करते. अगर उनके पास कार्ड है तो दे जस्ट गो ऑन एंड जो भी बेनिफिट्स है वो उसको अवेल करते हैं. बट मोस्ट ऑफ द ऐसे लोग होते हैं हमारी सोसाइटी में जिनको इनकी ज़रूरत होती है फिर भी उनको नहीं मिलता, बिकॉज आइदर उनको इतनी नॉलेज नहीं होती या फिर वो ऐसे इलाकों में रहते हैं जहाँ से ऐसे राशन कार्ड शॉप में आना उनको पॉसिबल नहीं होता, या फिर बहुत सारे रीजंस होते हैं. मेन रीज़न होता है इग्नोरेंस, उनको पता ही नहीं होता. ओके, so poverty is a state of deprivation of people or society in which they are not able to meet their basic needs such as food, clothing and shelter. In all this, they have low capacity to deal with socio-economic and environmental exigencies. This definition, however, can be contested, for it doesn't include education, healthcare and decent standard of living or a dignified life. But it could be agreed upon their former are immediate needs and will be preferred by any deprived person. For example, we can say India in initial decades after independence was severely short of food grains, and that promoted government to invest in agriculture, which resulted in green revolution. So at that time, investment in social infrastructure was negligible, and now that India has achieved self-sufficiency, focus has shifted to healthcare and education. Now there are many challenges in marketing poverty line, marking poverty line, such as determination components of poverty line basket. There are price differentials of constituents of basket which vary from state to state and from period to period. Further, the consumption patterns, nutritional needs and prices of components keep on changing as per the dynamics of macro economy and demography. मतलब कि होता ये है कि इन्फ्लेशन जैसी भी चीज़ें इन सारे प्राइसेस को अफेक्ट करती हैं, तो हम एक प्रॉपर बेंचमार्क नहीं सेट कर पाते फॉर से अब एक प्रॉपर दिनों के लिए या फिर प्रॉपर टाइम पीरियड के लिए हम वो फिक्स बेंचमार्क नहीं सेट कर सकते, क्योंकि हर स्टेट में प्राइस डिफरेंट होता है, या फिर आप ब्रांड्स देखो उनमें भी प्राइस अलग अलग होते हैं. तो ये सारी चीज़ें अफेक्ट करती हैं प्राइस इस बेंचमार्क को डिटरमाइन करने के लिए. ओके, सो गाइज, नाउ व्हाट वी विल डू इज विल टेक अप एंड डिस्कस सम इश्यूज रेलेवेंट टू पॉवर्टी लाइन. द फर्स्ट वन इज एब्सोल्यूट पॉवर्टी वर्सेस रिलेटिव पॉवर्टी. उनका डिफरेंस जानते हैं. सो ऑलमोस्ट ऑल अंडर डेवलप्ड एंड डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज प्रीफर टारगेटिंग एब्सोल्यूट पॉवर्टी. Under absolute poverty, certain minimum basic standards of living are defined, and people living below these standards are termed in policy as poor or below poverty line. This is done by determining a poverty line basket and calculating monetary figure of that basket, as in India, which varies across countries. So in contrast, relative poverty is measured in relation to rich people of the country. And in this method, certain percentage of economically bottom population is also considered below poverty line. In these countries, BPL people may have all basic amenities and reasonable standard of living. But as their incomes are far below national per capita income, they get support of government. Argument that India should focus on absolute poverty need no further elaboration. Given each consumption of vast part of population which NSSO and various other studies reveal. Okay. Now guys, the argument that India should focus on absolute poverty need no elaboration given such low consumption of vast part of population which NSSO and various other studies reveal. Now let's speak about poverty line basket. So determining composition of the basket is among most debated part of the issue. To make a living, people consume innumerable items apart from food, housing, fuel, health, education, communication, conveyance, entertainment or recreation are the things which are important. But whether they should be included or not, if so, their weights in basket, whether health should be getting preference over housing, or whether reasonable expenditure of recreation be included in basket, etc., are the toughest question to be answered. The problem is that these are qualitative aspects which are needed to be quantified. Also, the consumption varies as per age groups, occupations, regions, cultures and genders. This variation is hard to capture. जैसे कि हम देख सकते हैं कंजम्पशन बहुत ज़्यादा वेरी करता है. आप किस एज ग्रुप में बिलोंग करते हो, आपका ऑक्यूपेशन क्या है, आप किस रीजन से बिलोंग करते हो, और फिर रीजन से बिलोंग करते हो इसका मतलब आपकी फूड हैबिट्स भी अलग अलग होंगी, राइट. जो लोग नॉर्थ इंडिया में रहते हैं उनके फूड हैबिट्स वैसे नहीं होंगे जैसे कि साउथ इंडिया में है. देन आपका कल्चर भी डिफाइन करता है आपका किस प्रकार का आपका फूड इंटेक है. देन योर कल्चर्स एंड जेंडर्स एक्सेट्रा. Now, over the last decade, consumption by Indians have risen constantly, and share of food in total consumption has fallen. Also, within the food, share of calorie-rich cereals have fallen, and share of protein, fat, nutrient-rich items like pulses, milk, fruit has risen. Now, historically, focus of India's poverty like basket policy has been on consumption of calories, which are first adopted in 1970s on recommendation of Alga Committee. It was believed that 2,400 calories in rural areas and 2,100 calories in urban areas was sufficient to give good nutrition help to citizens. So in this sense, number of percentage of people below poverty line and those of under malnourished nutrition people should be roughly the same. But it is known that nutrition is more rampant and widespread than poverty and outscores the ratio of BPL people by huge margin. This forced our policy makers to look for other determinants of nutritional status, and they found that the prenatal birth health of mother, postnatal care of babies, sanitation, open defecation, health and education infrastructure has decisive impact on nutritional status of people. Now, lack or presence of many these things have pushed significant number of people towards undernutrition even when they consumed more than needed calories. These issues were taken into account by Tendulkar Committee to some extent. More on this we will discuss on our later slides. Now, let us talk about the reference period. So guys, during the survey of the NSSO workers, they were asked certain questions to the house. They were asking certain questions to the households. Period covered by these questions is called as reference period. Care has been taken that this period is representative of general pattern of consumptions. So if we take poverty line basket, it will cover food and non-food items. In case of food, expenditure is routine and month's consumption can give us data which represents general pattern. If we take consumption pattern of non-food items such as clothes or footwear, we find out that in a normal household, these are once or twice in year expenditure. If we take reference period of 30 periods of these products, they will find majority of households they have no expenditure on these particular things at all. So So reference period should be different from different category of items that has been established now. Speaking about income based poverty line versus consumption based poverty line, we have seen that NSSO captures consumption expenditure, which is used by Planning Commission to determine poverty line. An alternative way to calculation of poverty line can be based on income of population. But till now, committee have favored consumption based on poverty line due to the following set factors, which we will discuss now. The first one is that huge majority of population has irregular income. Most of them are in informal sector, which consists of self-employed people, daily wage laborers, etc. Income of this group is highly variable, both temporarily and spatically. So while consumption pattern are comparatively much stable. Second is, even in case of regular wage earners, there are additional side incomes in many cases, which is difficult to take into account. For example, if we take Manrega, it provided employment for about 100 days. For the rest of the time, people also earn something, right? So the NSSO sample based surveys use as reference period, say 30 days. They will ask households under survey about their consumption in last 30 days. This they will take a representative of general consumption of the household, and this is not possible in case of income. So we can conclude that absence of reliable data income based approach can't be reliable upon. Now we will see evolution of poverty line in India in its current form. A working expert group recommends a particular poverty line which attracts intense debate and criticism. After this, new expert group is appointed. So this group has to convert results of past years by the previous methodologies into those by the new methodologies, sometimes using old base year as per data available with NSSO. Now this is an essential so as to make poverty line and population BPL comparable. Okay, so this is a bit confusing as there is no consistency and new data keeps on coming. We just need to have basic idea of evolution, and most of the figures on data, they can be ignored. It is given just for an idea of patterns. Now, one of the earliest estimation of poverty was done by Dadabhai Navroji in his book Poverty and the Un-British Rule in India. He formulated a poverty line ranging from rupees 16 to rupees 35 per capita per year. Based on 1867 to 68 prices, he had done that. So the poverty line proposed by him was based on the cost of subsistence diet consisting of dal, rice flour, mutton, vegetable, ghee, vegetable oil and salt. Now next, in 1938, the National Planning Committee or NPC, they estimated a poverty line ranging from rupees 15 to rupees 20 per capita per month. Like the earlier method, the NPC also formulated a poverty line based on minimum standard of living perspective in which nutritional requirements are implied. So in 1944, the authors of Bombay Plan suggested a poverty line of rupees 75 per capita per year. So let us now move on to Working Group of Planning Commission, which was in 1962. We will also focus on some of the committees briefly. So the Working Group of Planning Commission in 1962. So this was first created by Planning Commission to determine desirable minimum level of expenditure required to make a living. So the first one was recommendation of national minimum consumption of expenditure for a household of 5 rural, okay, household of 5, and it was 100 rupees per month, or we can say rupees 20 per person, and in case of urban it was 125 per month, or we can say rupees 25 per person. Now it excluded health and educational expenditure on assuming that it is provided by the state. Third one was used a recommendation on balanced diet by Indian Council of Medical Research. Now let us look into consideration what happened in 1975. What were the task force of 1975 under Alaga? So the poverty line of 1962 was used during 1960s and 1970s. as at the both national and state level, but it attracted intense debate of its low figures. In response to task force under Dr. D.Y. Algar, that it was created to revisit poverty line. So these all are the committees. First one is average calorie requirements, that was estimated separately for the all India rural and urban areas on recommendation of nutrition expert group. This resulted in different poverty line basket for urban and rural areas. The estimated calorie norm was 2400 calories per capita per day in rural areas and 2100 calories per capita per day in urban areas. Now these calorie requirements need some monetary value which can be determined ascertaining the quantity of consumption and prices, or we can say values of the quantity. Data relating to quantity and value was provided by NSSO survey. It was estimated that on average consumer expenditure, food and non-food items were also included, and it came to rupees 49 per capita per month. Also, this was associated with a calorie intake of 2400 per capita per day in rural areas and rupees 56.64 per capita per month, with a calorie intake of 2100 per day in urban areas. So this monthly per capita expenditure was termed as poverty line, and this poverty line was used by upcoming years after adjusting for the rise in prices. Okay, so here we have to note that the difference was more only in rural and urban poverty line, and there were only all India rural and urban poverty lines. But the next expert group will also they recommended state specific poverty line. Okay, so now let us look into the next committee's report, which talked about this expert group which was there in 1993, which talks about Ladakhwala. It was named as Ladakhwala Committee. So this panel didn't redefine poverty line and retain mechanism defined by Algar expert group. So instead of disgraded all India poverty line to state specific poverty line using the Fisher index for base year 1973 to 1974, for the later periods this rural urban poverty line states were updated by taking into account the consumer price index, agricultural labor for rural state specific poverty line, and CPI or industrial workers for urban state specific poverty line. The third one was all India poverty ratio, rural and urban, was derived through population based weightage, average of poverty ratios of various states. So hence poverty line of India is converted into state poverty lines, while poverty ratios of state was aggregated to all India poverty ratio. We have to note that poverty line is based on consumption expenditure, which gets affected by inflation. So the later years poverty lines are increased using CPI, AL, IW. So they won't calculate the new poverty line every year. The CPI and AL doesn't include housing component, but CPI, IW does include it. So the groups were able to give state specific poverty lines of only 18 states, as in the other states adequate data was not available. For this, remaining states poverty line was determined by equating them with one of the 18 states on the basis of physical contiguity and similarities of economic profile of those states. This mechanism was adopted by Planning Commission and was used till 2011 when recommendations of Tendulkar expert group were adopted. So guys, we will look into the other committees, the Tendulkar committee and the Rangarajan committee in our upcoming videos. If you like this video, then do hit the like button. अगर आपके कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट सुझाव है हमारे लिए तो आप कमेंट सेक्शन में मेंशन डाउन कर सकते हैं. इफ़ यू आर न्यू टू दिस प्लेटफॉर्म देन डू हिट द सब्सक्राइब बटन. वहाँ पे नोटिफिकेशन बेल आएगी, उसको भी क्लिक कीजिएगा सो दैट यू विल बी गेटिंग नोटिफाइड एवरी टाइम वी आर ऑन यूट्यूब. थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग. स्टे ट्यून्ड एंड टेक केयर.